Welcome, truth seekers, to Unknown Storytellers, the channel that pulls back the curtain on the hidden aspects of human nature. Today, we're venturing into the shadows of the human psyche to explore a concept that, once understood, will change how you see the world and the people in it forever. We're talking about the Dark Triad. What is the Dark Triad? It's a trio of the most dangerous and socially toxic personality traits: narcissism, psychopathy, and Machiavellianism. These aren't just labels you see in movies. They are real, measurable traits that exist in people all around us. You might have met someone who fits the bill, a boss who takes all the credit, a partner who seems to have no empathy, or a friend who manipulates every situation for their own gain. Today, you'll learn exactly how to spot them, understand their motivations, and most importantly, protect yourself from their influence. Let's start with the first, and perhaps most well-known, trait: narcissism. We often throw this word around to describe someone who posts a lot of selfies, but clinical narcissism is far more insidious. At its core, narcissism is characterized by an inflated sense of self-importance, a deep need for excessive attention and admiration, troubled relationships, and a lack of empathy for others. So how do you spot a narcissist? Look for the grandiosity. They believe they are superior, special, or unique, and expect others to recognize it. They'll often exaggerate their achievements and talents. They crave validation and become fragile when they don't get it, reacting with rage or contempt. This is called narcissistic injury. They also have a strong sense of entitlement, genuinely believing they deserve the best of everything and expecting unquestioning compliance with their expectations. They view people not as individuals, but as tools, sources of narcissistic supply to feed their ego. Once you stop serving their purpose, they will discard you without a second thought. It's a game of constant validation, and you are just a pawn. Now let's move on to the second, and arguably most chilling, trait of the triad: psychopathy. When you hear this word, you might picture a villain from a horror film, but the reality is often more subtle and much closer to home. Psychopathy is defined by a profound lack of empathy and remorse, shallow emotions, impulsivity, and often antisocial behavior. The key identifier for a psychopath is their emotional void. They simply do not feel things the way most people do. Empathy, guilt, love, these are foreign concepts. They can mimic emotions convincingly, which makes them incredibly deceptive. They are master manipulators, using charm and wit to draw people in. They see social rules and moral codes as inconvenient obstacles, not guiding principles. This allows them to lie, cheat, and exploit others without any internal conflict. You might notice their impulsivity and a need for constant stimulation, which can lead to risky behaviors. They live in the moment with little regard for future consequences, either for themselves or for the people they hurt. The scariest part? A psychopath can walk among us, completely undetected, wearing a mask of normality while causing chaos in their wake. The final piece of this dark puzzle is Machiavellianism. Named after Niccolo Machiavelli, the Renaissance writer who famously advised rulers to be cunning and deceptive, this trait is all about strategic manipulation. A person high in Machiavellianism is a master strategist, focused on their own self-interest and willing to manipulate, deceive, and exploit others to achieve their goals. Unlike a psychopath who might act impulsively, a Machiavellian is calculating and patient. They are the long-game players. They view human relationships as transactional and are masters of cynical, detached planning. How can you identify them? They are often charming and persuasive, but their friendliness has a purpose. They flatter, they make promises, and they use information as a weapon. They believe the ends always justify the means. If lying gets them that promotion, they will lie. If betraying a friend secures a better position, they will do it without hesitation. They keep their true intentions hidden, operating from the shadows and playing people against each other. They are the puppet masters of the social world, and they excel in environments where their cunning gives them an edge. So we have the self-obsessed narcissist, the emotionless psychopath, and the calculating Machiavellian. While distinct, these three traits often overlap. A person can be high in one, two, or all three. When they combine, you get an individual who is dangerously effective at getting what they want, no matter the human cost. This brings us to a fascinating and disturbing question. Why do we so often find these traits in positions of power? From world leaders to CEOs of major corporations, studies have shown a higher-than-average prevalence of Dark Triad personalities. Why is that? The answer lies in the very nature of these traits. Think about the corporate ladder. The ruthless ambition, the willingness to step on others, and the charismatic but deceptive communication style are, unfortunately, often rewarded in competitive environments. A Machiavellian can out-strategize their rivals. A narcissist's over-the-top confidence can be mistaken for competence and leadership potential. A psychopath's lack of fear and guilt allows them to make tough decisions that others would shy away from, like mass layoffs, without losing a wink of sleep. These individuals are drawn to power, and the systems we've built often inadvertently help them get there. They see the world as a game to be won, and their lack of empathy gives them a competitive advantage. They aren't held back by things like loyalty or fairness. Now, for the most important part of our discussion, how do you protect yourself? Recognizing these traits is the first and most crucial step. Knowledge is your shield. Once you see the pattern, you can't unsee it. First, trust your gut. If someone consistently makes you feel confused, small, or on edge, pay attention to that feeling. Manipulators thrive on creating self-doubt. Your intuition is often your earliest warning system. Second, establish and enforce strong boundaries. Dark Triad personalities are boundary pushers by nature. They will test your limits to see what they can get away with. Be firm and consistent. Say no and mean it. Don't jade. That is, don't justify, argue, defend, or explain. Your no is a complete sentence. Explaining yourself just gives them more ammunition to twist your words and manipulate you. Third, observe actions, not words. Narcissists and Machiavellians are masters of charm and empty promises. They will tell you everything you want to hear, but do their actions match their words? Are they consistently reliable, or do they always have an excuse? A person's true character is revealed in what they do, especially when they think no one is watching. Fourth, if you're dealing with a highly toxic individual, especially in a personal relationship, the best strategy is often to disengage. This is known as the gray rock method. You make yourself as boring and unresponsive as a gray rock. No drama, no emotional reactions, just bland, factual responses. This starves them of the attention and emotional response they crave, and they will often lose interest and move on to an easier target. In more severe cases, going no contact is the only way to truly protect your mental and emotional well-being. Understanding the Dark Triad is not about becoming cynical or paranoid. It's about becoming empowered. It's about trading naive optimism for informed awareness. By learning to recognize these patterns of behavior, you reclaim your power. You stop being a potential target and start being an observer who can navigate the complex social world with confidence and clarity. You'll never look at people the same way again, and that's a good thing. You'll be looking at them with open eyes. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the human psyche. If this video opened your eyes, let us know in the comments. What are your experiences with these personality types? Your story might help someone else recognize what they're going through. And if you want more powerful psychological insights that help you understand the world on a deeper level, make sure to like this video, subscribe to Unknown Storytellers, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a revelation. Stay aware, stay safe, and we'll see you in the next story.